The call for help. The skies above the planet Jura burned red. Giant enemy ships floated in orbit, firing down with beams of light that tore through buildings like paper. The people of Jura had always been peaceful. They had no army, no weapons to fight with. Their leaders had believed war was a thing of the past, but now they were wrong. The invaders called themselves the Roth. They gave no warning, no reason. They just attacked. Cities fell in hours. Fields turned to ash. The sky never turned blue. Again, from a hidden bunker beneath the capital, a desperate council of Juran leaders gathered. Their faces were pale. Their hands shook. One of them, an old man named Kel, pressed a button and sent out a message. It was a call for help, not to the Roth. Not to their neighbors. But to Earth. Jura had only met humans once, long ago. They were strange, strong, and quiet. Earth had not joined the Galactic Council, but everyone knew of them. Some called them Deathworlders. Others called them monsters. But all agreed on one thing: humans were dangerous. We have no choice, Kel said. We must ask Earth. The message went out. Simple and short: this is Jura. We need allies. We are under attack. Please help us. The message was sent into deep space. They waited. Days passed. Then, the Roth found the bunker. Explosions rocked the ground above. Dust rained from the ceiling. Screams echoed in the distance. Kel closed his eyes. It's too late, he whispered, but then something strange happened. The shaking stopped. The sky above turned white. A bright line of light cut through the clouds. A voice came over the comms. Calm. Cold. This is Earth Fleet Command. Stand by. Kel's eyes widened. They heard us. The screen lit up with a symbol, not the Council's, not Jura's, but Earth's. One line of text followed: you asked for allies. Earth is sending Deathworlders. Outside, the ground rumbled again. But it was not the Roth this time. It was the sound of something landing, something big. Deathworlders arrived. Dust clouds covered the sky as the ground shook under something massive. Everyone inside the bunker froze. Kel and the others stared at the monitors, watching the cameras outside. Then they saw it. A massive black ship landed just outside the ruined capital. Its hull was strange, scarred, dark, and covered in burn marks. It looked less like a ship and more like a beast from some nightmare. No markings, no bright colors, just silent steel. From the bottom of the ship, ramps opened, and the humans came. They wore heavy armor that looked part machine, part armor. Each of them carried weapons that looked too big for any normal person. Their faces were hidden behind dark visors. They moved in silence, in perfect order, like machines. Kel gasped. Are these soldiers? A young woman beside him whispered, no. These are Deathworlders. The first human, tall and silent, raised a hand. The others fanned out, scanning the area. Then one of them looked straight at the camera and spoke. You called for help. You have 10 minutes to show us your situation. After that, we take over. Kel's voice trembled. Turn on the speaker. Let me talk to them. He stepped forward, pressing a button. This is Councillor Kel of Jura. We are grateful. The Roth are killing our people. We need protection. The human cut him off. We are not here to protect. We are here to end it. Kel paused. And what? The war, the human said simply. Suddenly, 2 more ships landed. Smaller, faster. Out of one came a group of human medics. They were white, but even they moved like warriors. Calm, alert, cold. The people of Jura slowly stepped out of hiding. Some were bleeding. Some carried children. The medics didn't speak. They just got to work. And meanwhile, the black armored soldiers marched out into the city ruins, spreading like shadows. One of them looked up into the sky. Roth ships are still in orbit, he said to his commander. Good, came the reply. Let them see what happens now. Seconds later, fire lit up the sky. Earth's warships, still hidden behind the clouds, opened fire. Blue beams sliced across the heavens. One of the Roth ships exploded, then another. The sky looked like it was tearing apart. Back on the ground, Kel stared at the screen. What kind of people are these? The human standing beside him spoke for the first time. "We are not people like you. We are from a place that wants to kill us every day. That made us stronger. Harder. Meaner." He removed his helmet. His face was scarred. His eyes cold. But he spoke with calm. "You asked for allies. Earth sent its monsters instead." The screen went dark. Far above the planet, Earth's fleet moved with perfect precision. The battle had begun. But this time, Jura wasn't losing. The Roth had no idea what was about to hit them. The ground war begins. The sun never rose over Jura that morning. Smoke covered the sky. Fire burned across the hills. But in the center of the storm, the humans marched forward. The Deathworlders had landed. They moved with no fear. No hesitation. Where the Roth sent waves of flying drones and clawed beasts, the humans responded with silence and destruction. Each shot from their weapons tore through metal and flesh alike. Each step they took cleared more ground. From the bunker, Kel watched the battle unfold on the screens. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. One human soldier alone held a street against a full enemy squad. He moved like a shadow, fast and lethal. His armor took hits that would kill any other species, but he kept moving. "Are they machines?" asked one of the young aides beside Kel. "No," whispered Kel. "They are worse." Outside the city, Earth's medics set up a field base. It was clean, fast, efficient. Within minutes, wounded Jurans were lying on cots, receiving treatment. The humans didn't speak much. They didn't comfort. But their hands were steady. Their care exact. A medic removed a burned wrap from a young girl's arm. Her skin was raw, the wound deep. The girl winced. The medic didn't flinch. He worked with calm speed, sealing the burn with something glowing blue. The girl looked up. "Are you going to leave us too?" The medic stopped. For a moment, he didn't answer. Then he said, "We don't come to leave. We come to finish." Meanwhile, the Deathworlder units moved deeper into the war zone. They had no tanks, no walkers. No drones of their own. Only their suits, their rifles, and their fury, and it was enough. One group of humans entered a broken Roth command base. Smoke filled the air. The walls were blasted open. Inside were 6 enemy warriors, each taller and stronger than a human, but strength didn't matter. The lead human rolled a small silver device into the room. The Roth laughed. Until the device pulsed once and exploded with a white flash. Silence followed. Then the humans walked in, rifles raised. Kel turned away from the screen. "Why are they doing this for us?" he asked aloud. No one answered then. The human leader's voice echoed through the bunker speaker. "Counselor Kel. We've cleared the northern zone. Begin evacuation." Kel leaned forward. "Are we safe?" "No. But you will be. We are moving to the next sector." "Can I ask you something?" Kel said. "Why did Earth respond to our call?" There was a pause. "Because we know what it's like to fight alone. And we don't forget." The voice cut out. Outside, another human squad moved into a burning village. The Roth had set fire to homes and left traps. But the Deathworlders moved through like ghosts. One by one, they disarmed explosives, pulled survivors from rubble, and kept walking. There was no fear in their steps. Only purpose. That night, the sky turned red again, but this time, it was Roth ships burning. Jura's people, hidden in bunkers and caves, looked up and saw a strange light. The kind they hadn't seen in weeks. Not fire. Not smoke, but hope. The Deathworlders had come from orbit, and the war was starting to change. Why they fight? The fires died down for a short while. The Roth had pulled back, something they never did before. Their forces were no longer pushing forward. Instead, they were falling into defense. It wasn't because they were out of weapons. It was because they were afraid. They had faced many enemies in the past. They had crushed weak planets and taken over peaceful species. But they had never fought Deathworlders, and they had never fought Earth. In the ruined capital, Kel met the human commander face to face for the first time. The man stood tall, covered in black armor with deep scratches and dents. His eyes looked tired, but sharp. His name was Cole. Kel walked carefully. I want to thank you. Your people saved hundreds. Maybe thousands. Cole nodded, sane. Nothing. Kel looked around. Other human soldiers were helping repair broken water systems and build shelters. No one asked for thanks. No one smiled. Kel finally asked, why? Why does Earth help us? You are not part of the council. You do not answer to anyone. Cole looked at him, then sat down on a broken stone block. Because we remember. Kel tilted his head. Remember what? What it feels like to be left alone. Cole looked up at the sky. A long time ago, Earth sent its first signals to the stars. But no one answered. We were ignored. Some even laughed at us. But we kept going. We grew strong. We learned to survive. We learned that the galaxy doesn't care about fairness. Only power. So we made sure Earth would never be helpless again. Kel listened, silent. We became Deathworlders not because we wanted to, but because we had to. Another human walked over. She wore armor with a red mark across the chest. Her voice was quiet. Commander, we have a problem. The Roth are setting up a forward cannon near the ridge. Big one. Anti-orbital. Cole stood up. Then we take it out. Kel frowned. That's suicide. You'll never reach it. It's protected by energy fields and turrets. Cole smiled for the first time. That's why we brought someone special. From behind a transport truck, a figure stepped forward. Not tall. Not heavy. Just a normal-looking human. No armor. No weapon, just calm eyes. Kel stared. That person isn't a soldier. Cole looked amused. That's what the enemy thinks too. The unarmored human raised a small device. A soft blue light scanned the ridge in the distance. He tapped the screen once and said quietly, I'll be back in 15. Then he walked away alone into the smoke. Kel was confused. Who is he? Cole replied simply, he's from Earth's Shadow Core. Trained to move through death. A Deathworlder by nature, not armor. 15 minutes later, the sky flashed, the Roth's cannon exploded in a ball of fire. The entire ridge was gone. No turrets fired. No alarm went off. Kel stood in shock. He took down the cannon by himself. Cole nodded. We don't waste time. That night, Kel sat near a fire with several Joran survivors. Children laughed for the first time in weeks. Soldiers shared dry food with hungry hands. Earth's medics moved like ghosts, fixing bones, calming cries, never asking for reward. One boy looked up and asked, are the humans going to stay forever? Kel smiled sadly. No. They don't stay. They come when needed. And then they leave. But why? Kel looked at the stars. Because their home is dangerous. Their people, they never stop training. Never stop building. The galaxy made them that way. Another girl whispered, are they heroes? Kel shook his head. No. They are something scarier than heroes. They are humans. The last push. The morning was too quiet, not a single bird sang. Not a breeze moved through the broken city. The air felt heavy, like something terrible was waiting. Commander Cole stood on top of a ruined tower, watching the horizon. His armor had new scorch marks. His shoulders were stiff, but his eyes never blinked. They are coming, he said. The Roth had pulled back for days, gathering their full strength. Now, they were returning, all of them. Over 200 ships in orbit. Thousands of foot soldiers on the ground. Giant war beasts moved beside tanks, their eyes glowing. They weren't just attacking the city anymore, they were trying to wipe out the humans. Kel stood beside the commander. There are too many. You need to retreat. Save your people. Cole shook his head. We don't retreat. We hold the line. Kel stepped forward. But you'll die. Cole's face didn't change. Then we die standing. Across the field, the Deathworlders prepared. They didn't shout. They didn't panic. They simply checked weapons, patched armor, and made final plans. One soldier painted a red skull on his helmet. Another whispered a few quiet words to a photo in his pocket. Above, Earth ships moved into formation. They weren't big like the Roths, but they were fast, smart, and dangerous. As the Roth forces stormed the battlefield, the humans opened fire, the ground exploded, blue and red flashes lit the sky. Roth warbeasts screamed as railguns punched through their thick armor. Human troops moved like hunters, never standing still, always flanking and surrounding, but the enemy kept coming. One Deathworlder squad was pushed into a corner, trapped behind rubble, low on ammo. Then, from the sky, a pod dropped. It hit the ground with a thud, smoke hissing. A single human stepped out. No armor, no gun, just gloves covered in glowing lines. The trapped squad leader shouted, "Who the hell are you?" The man smiled. "The one who ends this." He ran forward. The Roth had never seen anything like it. This human didn't use weapons. He used speed. His fists tore through metal. His strikes left shockwaves. One Roth soldier aimed too slow. The human twisted, grabbed the weapon, and bent it in half with one arm. Then he kept going. Word spread fast. Earth had unleashed its true monsters. Back at the command post, Kel watched the cameras in disbelief. "That man, is he real?" Cole didn't answer. His eyes were on a blinking screen. A signal. "A countdown, 3 minutes, he said. Kel asked, 3 minutes for what?" Cole turned. "The final strike." For above, hidden behind debris. In orbit, Earth's last warship had waited. Silent. Still, now, it moved. The ship's name was Deliverance. No one had seen it fire before. No one even knew if it worked, but Earth did not bluff. The ship aimed at the largest Roth command cruiser. "Target locked," the AI said. "Permission to fire." Cole's voice came calm. "Do it." A white beam shot from orbit. It was not loud. It made no sound at all. Just light, and then, the Roth flagship vanished. No explosion. No wreckage, gone. Every Roth ship stopped moving for a second, and in that moment, Earth's fleet struck. Missiles rained from the sky. Lasers sliced through hulls. Drones swarmed like bees. In 10 minutes, 50 Roth ships were destroyed. 20 tried to run, only 3 escaped. On the ground, the Roth soldiers began retreating. Some dropped weapons and ran, some just stood still, staring at the sky, broken. The Deathworlders moved through them like a storm. No mercy. No pause. Asterisk. Earth's final message: the battlefield had fallen silent, the Roth were gone. Those who weren't destroyed had either fled or surrendered. Their ships no longer filled the sky. The smoke cleared, and for the first time in weeks, sunlight touched the ground again. Jorah had survived, but not because of luck, because of Earth. Kel walked through the ruined capital, stepping over cracked stone and scorched metal. Around him, humans helped the wounded. Some carried stretchers. Others cleared rubble with machines that moved like animals. Joran children stared at the tall humans with wide eyes. One child stepped forward and handed a small flower to a soldier. The human looked at it, then carefully placed it in his belt without a word. Commander Cole stood at the city's edge, scanning a map with glowing lines. Kel approached him. "Commander," Kel said softly, "it's over. You've saved us." Cole didn't smile. He simply looked toward the sky. "It's not over." "Not yet." Kel blinked. "But the Roth won't come back," Cole said, "because we are sending a message." He turned and pointed upward. In orbit, Earth's last surviving Roth prisoners were being placed aboard a single enemy ship. Their weapons had been removed. Their engines had been locked to a preset path. "What is that?" Kel asked. Cole answered without emotion. "That is the ship that will return to their empire. Inside it is a recording." Kel hesitated. "A message? A warning?" The human activated his wrist device. A hologram played. It showed the battle. The Deathworlders. The orbital strike. Then it cut to Commander Cole, standing with fire behind him. "You came to Jorah with violence," Cole's voice said. "You hurt the innocent. You thought no one would stand up. Earth stood up. Next time, we won't send soldiers. We'll send the things we keep in cages." The recording ended. Kel Swallowed hard. You're scaring them, he said. Cole replied quietly, good. Fear is the only language some species understand. For above, the Roth ship lit its engines and left orbit. Heading home. Carrying the memory of destruction with it, back on the ground, Earth's forces began packing up. What happens now? Kel asked. Cole glanced at the city. Now we leave. Your planet is safe. We don't stay behind. Earth doesn't want thanks. We just want silence. Kel followed as Cole walked toward a landing ship. But, will you come back? If we're attacked again? Cole paused. That depends. On what? On whether Earth still hears the call. Then he boarded the ship. Kel watched as the black vessels lifted into the sky. One by one, they vanished into the clouds. Within hours, the skies were empty. No more human ships. No Deathworlders. Just wind and sunlight. The war was over, but the memory remained. That night, the people of Jura held a quiet gathering in the center of the city. Flowers were placed where the Deathworlders had stood. Candles were lit. No speeches were given. Just silence and respect, and above them, the stars twinkled. One young boy asked Kel, do you think Earth is still watching us? Kel looked up, thoughtful. I think Earth watches everything. They just wait in the dark, until the time is right. Until someone calls for help. The galaxy remembers months past. Jura slowly healed. The smoke cleared. Grass returned to the hills. Children played in the streets again. The people rebuilt their homes, stone by stone, wall by wall, but they never forgot. Every day, someone placed flowers where the human medics once worked. A new statue stood in the town center, a tall, armored figure with no name. No face. Just strong hands and a calm stance. It didn't look like a hero. It looked like a protector. Kel sat on the council steps, older now, watching the young ones run by. The scars from the Roth attack were still visible, but something had changed. In the people. They were no longer afraid. The memory of the Deathworlders had given them something more powerful than fear, courage. From time to time, strange visitors came from distant stars. Scientists. Diplomats. Explorers. They all asked the same question, is it true? Did Earth really send Deathworlders from orbit? Kel would smile. He would nod, and then he would tell the story. Across the galaxy, the legend spread. The peaceful world of Jura had called for help. And Earth had answered with war, with fury, with silence. In distant halls of power, empires grew nervous. Plans to invade other weak planets were quietly cancelled. Rulers whispered about Earth's monsters, and old records of Deathworlder history were studied again with care. On some worlds, the story became a warning. On others, it became hope. One day, far from Jura, in a crowded spaceport, a girl was attacked by thugs from a pirate gang. She screamed for help, but no one moved, until one man stepped forward. Just a human. Alone. No armor, but the gang froze when they saw him. The man didn't speak. He just looked at them, and they ran, because across the stars, the message had spread. Never forget what Deathworlders can do. Back on Jura, Kel received a message. It was short. Just text. We are watching. Stay safe. Earth. He showed it to no one. But he smiled when he read it. In the great city square, a young teacher pointed to a map of the galaxy. She asked her students, who protects us when no one else will? Small hands rose. A boy said, the Deathworlders. Another added, from Earth. The class laughed, but it was not out of fear. It was pride. That night, the stars above Jura were brighter than usual. Maybe it was just the sky. Or maybe, far above, a black ship still drifted silently, watching, waiting, because the Deathworlders never truly left. They just went quiet again, until someone else would call for help. Asterisk.